entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that, who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas, and that's why. I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so, to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean
Esau, man. Esau. Shalom, giving all the praise, honor, and infinite glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and who I learn from daily. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, you Israelite foreigners like unto a speckled bird. Shalom to you sincere Akim that's on the highways and byways doing lessons and videos week in and week out in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you sincere Akwath, listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. This is your brother Isaiah Allah back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, I hope this is edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. You are the biblical Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. The name of your God, your power, his name is YAHAWAH. Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning is, he exists. BAHASHAM, coming in the name, and who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI. Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning savior or deliverer. All praises, all honor, and all infinite glory. And so getting right into this one, brothers and sisters, and I pray, Lord willing, this is edifying through the Spirit. This is the Congressman Tim Burchett. As you can see, he claims the entities are rising out of Earth's deep waters and says UFOs might already be living here. And these lesser Edomites, they don't understand that these are the angels of the Heavenly Father. These are the chariots of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, the chariots of Israel. And one thing that he said that had some truth and some legitimacy to it was they've been here since the beginning, and he is absolutely correct. All right, because they go to and fro from the spirit world, and these devils are scared, man. They're scared. There's been plenty of videos going out. Brothers have been doing lessons these past couple of weeks of the meetings that these congressmen have been having about the chariots, the so-called UFO sightings, and they're seeing the power. And we just had a Hellfire missile bounce off of one of the chariots. I did a lesson recently on that, and it's over. It's over, E. All right. So this is the power that they did. Like they can't control, and they have no control over it. And that's what's coming to fruition right now. These devils really are just small little mice. They're nothing compared to the power of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And of course, through the scriptures we know, man. They're all over the scriptures. Now, this is something that these devils, this man, has been questioning, because they're seeing the chariots coming out of the water, not making a splash, going back into the water and not making a splash. These chariots don't go against your physics, Esau. All right, they can move in any direction that they want, and they defy your laws of physics. And so, as you can see here, this man, this is on the AI overview. This man questioned, and this is the U.S. government. Questioning, this is what I wanted, alleged underwater bases. In January 2025 interview, Burchett claimed that aliens have underwater bases on Earth. He recounted that a high-ranking admiral, whom he did not name, he had told him about an object the size of a football field moving at incredible speeds underwater. And that's the chariots. That's our brothers, man. That's our brothers. There's even been images and videos of chariots coming out the volcano. They a chariot going in and out the sun. These chariots are pure power, pure austere power, and there's nothing that Esau can do, man. All right, and they're here to cause destruction and also to save the elect of the nation of Israel. And right now they're in the house of the thief, and they're just showing off in front of Esau to show that you're not in control of anything, you devil, and there's nothing that you can do. All right, and I do have a lot of scriptures that I want to read And so let's get to him. This is Zechariah chapter 5, beginning at verse 2. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. All right. And so it's essentially 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. And you can read that in the NLT over there. And so it's a huge chariot. Verse 3, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on this side, on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And who is that? The Edomites, the Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He is the thief. All right. Stole everything, raped, robbed, and pillaged. And now there's a power that he can't defeat at all, or even dream of. And that's why these devils are trembling and they're scared. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house. All right, in his country, in his rulership. This is his house, and it shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Concentrated chariot fire. All right, as well as controlling. They're even able to control their weapon systems. They can turn off anything turn on and off anything that Esau has, like his nuclear missiles, so on and so forth. There's been plenty of stories coming out that these generals and these top officials that I believe in the early it's like some years ago. I don't know the exact date. Akim and Akwaf, but the chariots were hovering over the nuclear sites, and they turned on their weapon systems. They turned on and armed the missiles, and then they shut it back off because they're toying with Esau. They're playing with you devils, bro. Because YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI is the one that controls everything. And they're here to fulfill his will and his purpose. All right. And so you devils have nothing, like you got it coming to you, man. It's over. And when he was talking about they've been here since the beginning, yeah, they go to and fro from the spiritual realm. This is 2 Chronicles 16:9. For the eyes of YAHAWAH run to and fro throughout the whole earth. That's the angels. All right. The chariots. They go in and out from the fourth dimension, from the spiritual realm. All right. These are the heavenly vehicles that reside there. That's why these are angelic vehicles, all power. Ezekiel even talked about it, and we'll get a couple of those from that chapter, Lord willing. To show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. And that's going to be the elect. Because the chariots in the times that we're coming, brothers and sisters, are only going to defend the elect. That's it. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. And so the eyes of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI are the angels, the Alahayim, the powers, and they're riding in these vehicles, okay? And they're in sync. They're controlling the vehicles with their mind and the spirit, man. All right, they're one. Let's get this real quick. This is Isaiah 19 and verse 1. The burden of Egypt, which is talking about America, which is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. Behold, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, rideth upon a swift cloud. That swift cloud is the chariots. That's why these devils are so in awe, because he said their vehicles are going like 40 miles, while you got these vehicles going hundreds of miles an hour underwater. It's because they don't go by Esau's logic. They're way past Esau's mind in terms of his physics and his technology. And shall come into Egypt. So they're already here in the house of the thief. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the earth, Salakia, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Everybody's going to tremble at his presence. That's Revelation 1 and 7, man. He cometh with clouds. Every eye shall see him, even they that pierced him. They're going to wail, man. They're going to be trembling at the power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI with these vehicles, man. All right? Everything, all your idolatry, everything that this devil thought steamed to be wisdom and steamed to be power is going to be nothing, and it's going to melt in the midst of these vehicles, man. Some people are going to give up the ghost just at the sight of them. Okay? This is Ezekiel 1, and we're going to read a couple of precepts in this, okay, to break down. And this chapter is talking about the power of, the description of the power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI with the angels as well as the angelic vehicles, okay? Now, I'm not going to do a breakdown. I just want to get a few precepts into this to show to show you something. So this is Ezekiel 1. We're going to read verse 9 first. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went, and they went everyone straight forward. Now, what this is talking about is the chariots and the angels being in sync with the chariots because they defy the laws of physics. They can move in any direction. That's why you can see them go left to right, up and down. All right. They move. They move in ways that Esau's planes and his weaponry can't move because they don't go by his hit. Like I said, they defy their laws of physics. It's a power that they can't understand. All right. And the angels, the Alahayim, our brothers, are in sync with these chariots. Okay. So we're going to go down here to verse. Let's see. Yeah, verse 12. All right. And this is pretty much saying the same thing that was just said in verse 9. And they went everyone straight forward. Whither the spirit was to go, they went. And they turned not when they went. Like I stated, the chariots, along as well with the angels, they're in sync with one another. They can move in any direction. All right. And that's why they can go in and out of the water without a splash. Because this is the power of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Verse 13, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps, and went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. This is Ezekiel describing the power of what he's seeing, the power of the chariots, and the aura surrounding them. All right? That's why he said it was like burning coals of fire in the appearance of lamps. They were shining bright, so on and so forth, man. Okay? Verse 14, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. So these chariots can break the sound barrier. They can move extremely fast. That's why when that devil was talking, saying and underwater, like their speeds are astronomically higher than what Esau has. And that's nothing. They probably weren't even going Mach speed like as quick as they can go because they can teleport as well. All right, they move at the speed of sound. They can move at the speed of lightning, the speed of light, like when you flip on a light switch. All right, this is the power of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and you devils are in trouble. You devils are in trouble, and it's beautiful, man. All right, because more and more of this information is coming out on these chariots and these ships, man. All right, so let's get a couple of more. This is just to show the power of these vehicles. This is Habakkuk chapter 3, and we're going to begin in verse 2. O Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive thy works in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. And wrath, remember mercy. And this is what we're seeking, brothers and sisters. The mercy of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, because these vehicles are not just going to destroy Esau, the wicked, but they're also going to destroy the wicked of our people here. They're going to melt you. All right. And this is and the next verse is going to describe how they're going to melt you. Power came from Teman and the Holy One from Mount Paran. And Teman is another grandson of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the wisest of the Edomites. All right. But also just the representation of America, Babylon the Great. Selah, his glory covered the heavens and the earth was full of his praise. All the chariots, they're going to cover the entire clouds, the entire sky when they come into the house of the deep and manifest themselves. All right. At the end of the nuclear destruction over here of America, Babylon the Great. And his Salakia, verse 4, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. This is describing the laser beams coming out of the chariots. Those horns, we're going to go here to the Hebrew. This is the Hebrew word Quran. Quran. Okay? Now, if you look here at the outline of the biblical usage, horn of strength figuratively, flask, container for oil, horn as musical instruments, horn-like projections on the altar, of rays of light, heal a place conquered by Israel, probably in Bashan. It's the rays of light. It's the lasers that's coming out of the vehicles that's going to be shot, that's going to melt people. Think of the movie War of the Worlds. When those vehicles were coming out the ground, because Esau knows, that's why he puts it in his movies, man. They've always known that the chariots of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI have been here. They show you in the movies. Independence Day, the chariot is going to cover the cloud, like they came out of the clouds. They know that these chariots can cloak in clouds. They know that these chariots come in and out of the entire planet Earth, going to and fro. They know this. It's just these lesser ones, like that man. What was his name again? Tim Burchett, Slovakia. That like they don't have an idea. Like they're still intrigued. They're still in awe, trying to figure this stuff out. But the men of the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, has revealed his secrets to us of our brothers, man, and our salvation. All right. And that's exactly what's going to happen here, man. They're going to like you devils are done, man. There's nothing that you can do. Verse 5, before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. Destruction, laser beams, as well as the nukes that's going to go off, man. The Lord's going to completely destroy everything with his power. Now, scrolling down to verse 8, this is what Habakkuk was describing, because when he saw this vision, this is how terrible the day of the Lord is going to be, how terrible this destruction is going to be by these chariots. Was the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation. All right, because the chariots are going to come here and save the elect, but also destroy Esau's kingdom. All right, those horses are symbolic for those chariots, as the chariots, man, like horsepower. It's all power that these chariots are going to come and do, man, and they're going to do a surgical precision, a precise destruction on this place, man. But this is what Habakkuk was questioning. That's how terrible of the vision that he saw, man. And all the other prophets saw a vision similar to this. We'll get one more. Isaiah. Right up. Yep. Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Destruction. All right. His chariots are going to come swift. They're going to be beat like zapping people, like I just read in Habakkuk 3. All right. Laser beams, destroying everything. All right. Concentrated laser beams. Verse 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI shall be many. And that plead is just is judge. He's going to judge everybody and save and redeem his elect. And there's going to be many dead bodies everywhere. And that's why we pray for mercy. We want that mercy, and we want to be a part of that number, hopeful number, Lord willing. But the Lord's coming to kill a lot of people with those vehicles, with those all power. And there's nothing Esau can do. Nothing. It's over. It's over for you devils, man. All right? And so I pray, Lord willing, this was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. I want to give all the praise, honor, and infinite glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect.